This weekend, everybody. It's this weekend. It's finally here. The Crashcast Presents Halloween cover show. Did we mention to dress up? Yeah, dress up. We're all dressing up. You should dress up too. It's going to be fun. I'm looking at the last few tickets right now. If you need them, holler at us. It's just such a small amount left, and it'll be sold out, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. The response has been incredible. It's My Chemical Romance, brought to you by Past Comfort, Fall Out Boy by Go for Gold, Bane, performed by Eyes Up, and Every Time I Die by My Hands to War. The doors are at $10 advance, 15-day of show. Get your ticket early, save $5. There are still a handful of, here, look, listen. That's it. It's like so small I can't even fan it out. Very few tickets left. The other show we're going to mention is the 6th annual Spa City Metal Fest. 10 bands, $10. Spa City Inc. is a sponsor. DeLuca's Pizzas is a sponsor. Anchor Piercings, I do believe that is a sponsor. Farewell Skate Co. And me, Lame Johnny, Mismanaged, Zaris, Pliskin, Eyes Up, No Remorse, Low Spirits, Fred, Abimail, and Hell Camino. It's a sick fucking lineup. It's $10. It's $10 at the door. It's $10 before. It's just $10. You can't miss it. Today's guest, longtime friend of mine. We go way back. This man used to sell me CDs in his venue, The Frontline. It was one of my favorite spots as a kid. I saw so many of the craziest, I have some of the best stories from that venue. Seeing Beloved with basically no one. I mean, Anathello, you name it, I saw it there. Encomium days, high school, very kick-ass. Michael Moore was the guy that brought all that here. He loves to spread music around. We had a great conversation. I think you guys are going to love this. He's got so much history and a few plans. He's also in Fred, who's playing the Spa City Metal Fest, so come to that. Say hi to him. Get some more of his old stories in your head. We went through as many as we could think of in this time frame. And thanks everybody for listening again. The show coming up this weekend. Come by, say hi to me. We're going to have a blast. Without further ado, Michael Moore. Got to lumber in. This is tight seat, and
so I'm glad you put me over here.
Yeah, the guest spot. Okay, good enough.
What are we drinking here?
Ozark Beer Company, Hard Work, American Pale Ale.
There we go.
Not bad.
No,
I
I should expect it to be a little bit different. That's
yeah. It's bitey. It's got a good bite. Where is my... Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I built this table to get destroyed. So what's up, man? How's your weekend?
I'm glad it's almost over, actually. Cause,
Oh, really?
yeah. Then it's been too long. I need my normal week again for a minute.
Just work?
Well, no, everything else where I've been running everywhere all weekend.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
One of those busy weekends.
Too much.
Mine's kind of the same, but I try to plan out fun shit on the weekends, so I just not...
That's what I've been missing. The fun
shit.
Yeah.
We got a family, though, too, right?
Well, but I do, but my kids are in college, so it's not like that no more.
I forget you're grown up.
Well, you know.
Well, when we met, our spines were a little straighter. Your kids were a little younger.
Oh, yeah, my knee was still good.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. My kids were in diapers.
Right.
They're now sophomore, junior in college. So.
Oh, my goodness. And you were running a venue?
Well, back then, they were babies in diapers when I was doing that, yeah.
Wow.
They were usually next, because in that movie theater, you know, where we were, okay, well, next door to it was, like, in the normal time, it was like a nursery area.
Oh.
And so my wife a lot of time would be over there with the kids while we were doing the shows.
Oh, for real?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So you had your whole family there most of the time. I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, it was top that off because it was my brother whose place we were using.
Right.
Well, most nights when me and him, everybody left, and because most people didn't know this, and everything was done. Well, in the other room they had a projector,
Oh,
so we would go and hook up. And this is old because we'd hook up the PlayStation,
nice.
not 2 or 3,
The one.
and play NFL Blitz on the movie screen.
Dude,
And we'd sit there and do that like after everybody left.
that's awesome. What a good like venue night for a venue guy. Like,
Oh, it was awesome.
show's cool, and now we're gonna go do some even more cool stuff, like play video games on a big screen, which back then wasn't a lot of people doing.
No,
that.
you didn't get to do that very often. So
Yeah.
it was just fun, and plus you get to go and watch cool bands and hang out. And we also did a lot of stupid stuff in between. So
Oh yeah. Well, you can't be young and own a venue and not do some silly things.
well, and that was the thing about the venue was always it's so hard to say venue for me because venues normally thought of in a money scheme or money thought, but ours in the venue was just a venue for someone to play music.
Right.
And so it was literally just a place for people to hang out that wasn't, and as much as I'm going to sit here and drink a beer, it didn't have alcohol for teenagers and stuff. Anybody could go hang out, watch a show.
That's important too. You need those along with the bars with don't allow kids, a place for
Oh,
adults
yeah.
to escape, that kind of thing.
Most definitely.
I'm so glad you came on, man. I just have to say thanks because I literally, some of the best show memories of my whole entire life happened in that building. Some awesome ones, some kind of like silly, stupid ones. And just overall, the whole time it was a venue, it was like one of my like main go-tos. I was there all the time.
See, and that's awesome to me because for being from back there and then honestly getting out of everything for a long while, hearing about shows, wanting to go to shows, but work and kids and
Right.
life had me away. But I would hear about bands. Never realized that the bands I'm hearing about was people I knew.
Right.
Like you.
Right.
Who were the bands that I was like, oh, I'd like to go see them, but never got a chance to.
Yeah.
And now I get to come back out and y'all come back around. So.
Oh, yeah. Fred.
Nah,
Yeah.
Fred's fun. Fred's fun.
Fred is my champ, dude.
Fred's a good time, man. That's just that's for me now at this age, that's what music is. It's friends.
Yeah.
It's just it ain't about if we get to go and play somewhere down the road, cool.
Yeah.
But it's just about playing music.
Exactly. Just that release, that outlet. Just even if it's just in a garage, who cares?
No, yeah. Well, we're in a kitchen.
Like, oh, a kitchen.
Yeah. We fit in a
Snack
kitchen.
break.
Pretty much let's see, refrigerator, bass amp, microwave, guitar amp, stove, drum set, something like that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Microphone sparsed in there.
We just hang it from the ceiling. We just put a hook in.
Well, I'm really loud, so I don't have one. And
Right.
Baker uses the only one that is used.
Right. You
Yeah.
just scream out
I just
to the
scream. I'm loud enough.
That's true.
Yeah.
So did you before the venue time, we'll get to the venue stuff, but did you play music before or was you just like
I played music all the time through that time. I played, the dumb. I guess I started at 13.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Damn.
my brother is 9 years older than me.
Oh.
And so when he was 20, 21 and doing the band thing, whatever, 22, 20, whatever it was, I was
Right.
13, 14 going, well, sure, that sounds cool. And my best friends are the same age as me. Mm-hmm. We just started basically teaching ourselves whatever.
Yeah.
We didn't have one of them was, the one guy was a choir guy. So he knew music.
There you go.
And me and the other guy didn't know nothing. So he just told us what to do.
You got to have one. That's
Yeah, so-
Justin in my band. You got to have one, man.
Once you got one, you can start
Yeah,
writing, man.
that's right.
When he was cool though, a guy named Matt Joyce is his name. He was from Benton. That's how I ended up this way, even though I'm from North Little Rock. But he could play. Basically, he taught us how to play whatever instrument was needed.
Man.
When we first started
super
playing, we
talented.
needed a bass player, so he played the bass.
What were you doing? Vocals at the time?
Vocals most of the time. Vocals. Yeah, I guess realistically, I did vocals and everything me and him did from when we were like 13, 14 until we were about 19 or 20.
Really?
And then it was at that point when I got married and had my house for us to jam in that we started what was probably, before Fred, my favorite band I was ever in.
What was the name of it? Do you
That's
remember?
the one nobody knows. Our name was Flames and Stars. And we played like literally 2 shows maybe. One of them was a birthday party.
Nice.
So nobody seen us except for the birthday party. The other one was at the old family church or I say old time, that great big old place over there that
Yeah.
back in the day used to have shows and cool stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
Oh yeah. As I Die played there.
The one over here across the street?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, TNT.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Back when
That's
it was
okay.
that.
That's what I remember.
But
Yeah.
this family church. This is
Family Church is the bigger.
well, it was. I don't know.
Yeah, and it burned
I have
down.
no idea what they call any of it now.
Now it's like a school and a thing. That whole building's gone. It's been gone.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
What were we talking about a long time ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, well, no, that's what I was gonna say. The only other show we played was with like My Space Coaster and As I Lay Dying.
I was at that show.
That place. Yeah.
Okay.
We
so
actually did play that.
Wow.
And I played bass and did vocals in that.
Well, I saw you and didn't know you yet.
That's see, and that was thing. What I forget which band it was, but when they did the skate park here,
Yeah.
there was like I think it was King of Kings or something. Skateboard team came and they opened the skate park,
Right.
and we played the concert.
Oh, okay.
I forget which band it was in, but I was doing vocals in whatever it was.
Well, there you go. Shit. So our cross paths even before
Probably.
we met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what me and Baker realized is I was around here and things that y'all would have been. We used to throw our original shows before the venue.
Right.
We threw in Gene Moss Building in Tyndall Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had Sacrifice there, Mind Rage, all the good old
Wow.
stuff. Most people don't know Embodiment, but
Oh, I know Embodiment.
okay, so you know Sean, the singer from Embodiment. Okay, his band before that
Yeah.
was a band called Within,
Yep.
and they played in the Gene Moss Building.
Dang, dude.
And Feel Left Standing. They all played right there in Tyndall Park.
How did I? Oh, man.
Free shows.
I missed out on some great ones. But that was like right in the same time frame when I was just starting to learn about.
Well, as young
underground
as you
stuff.
were, yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Because officially, probably when you were actually coming around, that was when we were doing the venue, more or less. And so,
Sort of a little bit before, but yeah, kind of the same era, like same 2-year time gap. Yeah.
in the years before, we would do 1 or 2 shows a year.
Okay.
And as a teenager, I was booking these shows.
Nice.
That was the fun thing. It was because I've always, anytime I book shows, because I want to see that show.
Right. And
So-
back then, it wasn't just hop on the internet and.
No.
Grab
You
it
had
up.
you met people, but it was awesome. I mean, like Sacrifice, they played back then for us in that building. They knew my brother from before. I'd known them because they were the first band I went and seen live.
Really?
As a kid. Oh yeah, at Vino's when I was like 13 or 14.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I got in the first pit and was just didn't know.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's life changing.
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
change your entire
Oh,
life.
dude, man, I was just didn't know what I was doing. The next thing I know, I thought, man, that looks fun. And I ended up in that old school pit, just and you know, teenager, 13, 14 years old, probably weighing 130, 140 pounds. I'm a lot bigger now, and just got in there and just got beat down by these
Oh,
grown
yeah.
men for the whole set, and loved every minute of it.
Oh, dude,
Getting
yeah.
there.
I miss those old, just push moshy, just fall into each other, kind of going all around.
Oh, but it was rough though.
Oh, it was
As
rough.
You know, I've been around or in many a pit, and just back then in those days, it was just as rough
Yeah.
because you still had to watch what happened around
and
you.
if you fell down, oh, man.
Yeah, and then that's what when you came around, the eras y'all were,
Yeah.
you guys' age right there. We had one of the funnest times in the pit because we were able to do both any kinds of moshing
Right.
without the violence, without the
Yeah, it started
the
switching
hate
hands.
either
Yeah,
way.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's back to both now. I think they're both kind of in the thing. But we just did that reunion show thing, and it was all copacetic. It was good.
I think most time, most shows with the right bands, you're going to have good ones.
Yeah.
If you get certain shows, certain
Mm-hmm.
tour lineups, whatever, it's just more prone to have violence or not. You know,
Right.
not always meant in a bad way. It's just the way
Once-
the music is.
You know, and back then too, I feel like people needed more of an outlet because now we have so much outlets, and you get in there and it was just more. I feel like personally, it was just more wild.
Well, it was my thing was watching it from going to Sacrifice at Vino's back then to really the whole swinging and everything coming around through here. The pit was just different, you know. But then at the end of when I actually left the scene for my tour, it had got to where I almost hated going to shows
Yeah,
because you had like just dumbasses
yeah.
showing up and doing stupid shit.
Get a little jaded sometimes. I went through that phase as well. Like, man, I just don't even want to go.
Well, because I started realizing I wanted to really hurt some of these people that were acting a fool and really typically hurting people
Right.
because I'm just that guy. If you're hitting somebody that ain't paying attention, regardless of where they're at, you're just a dick to me. That's just
Yeah,
how
it
it
was.
is.
See, that was like the disrespectful era. I think they're a lot more respectful now. Like I was saying, like everybody was.
Oh, I have fun in the pit now.
Yeah, yeah,
As much as my knee allows me. You
yeah.
trust me.
One of my favorite actual shows I remember was at Juanita's though, but it was Under Oath when they were death metal, Embodiment, Logic 34, and I always forget.
Featured members of Travail because that's what a lot of
Hey, I brought out some stuff to show you.
Yeah, that's
so
the
check
Ludacris
that
Travail
out.
split. Yes, sir.
Yes, it
I
is.
have that myself.
My buddy Ross gave me this, man, and I actually got to listen to it finally, and I was just like, dude, it's like time traveling.
Oh no,
when you
that's
put these
yes,
in.
that's an awesome album.
Yeah, this
And
is
I mean-
fantastic.
I've actually because I'm still such a music nerd.
Oh yeah,
Travail, most of those dudes actually made another band that was still active here recently.
really?
Yeah, it's like Southern Train Gypsy or something.
Whoa.
But you can find them. I checked it out. It's good. But the Sam know the reason I know it is, I believe Dwayne from Law 34 and Travail.
Yeah.
He passed away within the last year or two.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but I ended up finding that band through that, and that's how I found it. All those dudes, even the singer of Travail,
Yeah,
were in a band together again.
dude, that's awesome. I'm gonna go look that up. Southern Gypsy. Oh, and then
I can't remember, but you'll find it through looking at old bands.
one of my favorite things about being older is the way you used to have to find music. And your venue, this guy right here,
Oh yeah, you got the original. Yeah,
and you were like, because you would man that table. Y'all had the CDs. You would sell
Well, because
CDs
nobody
and
knew
stuff.
all the music I had except me really well.
Right. And you were like, what do you like? And you would say, it was almost like going to a cigar bar now. They're like, what do you like? And you would tell them, and you would tell you, and then you'd be like, all right, check this out. So I bought this Ludacris 5 EP off of you. I'm pretty sure for probably just a couple dollars.
Oh yeah,
I still got it, man.
that's what I was gonna say. I tried to keep everything because times were different.
It was, so different.
I literally could call. That was Pluto Records.
Yeah.
I could call the dude that owned Pluto back then. I think his name was Eric, and just say, hey man, I need to get this, and this, and get them for, reasonable price.
Right.
Probably like $5, and then sell them for $8.
Right.
I wouldn't. Because to me, it wasn't about making money.
Yeah.
Now I did use a lot of that money every time I set up at shows. What money came in usually went to the bands
Right.
to make sure we met whatever,
That's-
or everybody got gas money if the show didn't go well, whatever. That was, So I always kept that money more for that than anything else. But it was more so to get music that you couldn't get here.
Yeah.
And honestly,
That was the spot. I mean, that was the spot for me. Unless you just went to a show, you didn't have a clue. who was,
and I was thinking some of those bands, especially at that time, because Under Oath was on Takeover Records,
Yep.
and I had that's who really actually was my biggest connect was Takeover Records. 'Cause,
Okay.
when I originally met that guy, when he was throwing shows down there, and we went, seen a whole bunch of bands through him too.
Oh, yeah.
But he had a distro himself
Okay.
that he did, and right after really Under Oath and some of he had Under Oath, Feel It Standing,
He had some pretty
238,
big
and a
names,
couple other
yeah.
bands all signed at once.
Yep.
And Mute Out You guys side project,
Me Without You side project.
the Operation.
Oh, okay.
The singer from Mute Out You plays drums. And
Really?
yeah, and then his brother who plays guitar in Mute Out You, I think, plays guitar in it, but they got somebody else singing. It's real Sunny Day Real Estate. It's good.
Okay.
Probably still have some of them. I still have my distro box.
Really?
Yeah, whatever's left over. Now it's been picked clean pretty good.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, because typically like a Beta Massive Flesh, when they came through, I brung it out and they just looked through it and picked some stuff and different. But they don't know everything still because they're not old enough to know all the bands. So they picked clean on certain things. If it was something that, like I had some Zayo albums and things, okay, obviously that's gone.
Man,
Obviously that's gonna get picked up.
yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, because we had all that good. I had all that good stuff.
Dude, Zayo, I remember you showed me not only Ludacris, but
Now they played here as Ludacris.
yeah. Yeah, I
at
don't.
Old Man Kirk's.
Yeah, I didn't go.
And
I
they
was not
played
aware.
with,
I knew somebody had told me later on that they had been here in all their iterations. But
It was them, Spoken,
damn.
Rod Laver, and I think it was what became the Handshake Murders.
Oh, nice.
I think they were Lovelorn at the time, and all those bands played at Old Man Kirk's.
Damn.
I know that because I booked the show.
Hell yeah. I played I played a
But
show.
Ludacris got on it because of Matt, the singer from Spoken.
Oh, okay.
They had played with him at Tom Fest in Seattle or whatever, like the week before the show. And he hit me up. He said, man, there's this band. He's like, they're on their way home and they'd be going through. You think they could play that night, that show? And I'd happened to heard their original thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, yes, please,
Awesome.
please. They come rolling up in a tinted window minivan and pulling a trailer. It was the funniest thing. Because they were young. They were young because they were younger than me. And I was probably still barely 20, if that.
Yeah, all those guys from, I guess, when I was coming up finally, you were already in your 20s and I was like a teenager.
Yeah, pretty much.
All those guys, yeah, they were all young, so young. My age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why to me, like, they're younger. And even though like years there ain't a huge gap between me and you.
It's
but
different.
It was. I mean, I was
Yeah.
married and had kids
Exactly.
at 19. So
Yeah. And I was still in high school, or not even. I don't even think I was in. Maybe I just started high school. Yeah, I'm still fuzzy on
When you were
exactly
coming
I
to shows?
started going. The years don't add. I would love to know the year of some of those shows because I know some of it was like around that exact same time. Because I actually started playing music, guitar. I got inspired by a friend of mine at a talent show, and I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't know." Like, I was into cars and shit, man. And I didn't know. All I know was
Dude, I
music.
drove
You
a
put it on and listen to
1970
it.
Dodge Demon was my first car. All right.
Mine was a '84 Chevy Silverado.
When you knew me, I was driving a 73 Dodge Dart Sport with a 340.
Damn,
Because that's what, when we were in the venue, that was my daily driver at the time.
that's awesome.
I wish it was. I'm
Yeah.
so sad because since that day, I can never say I've had a car I like. That's 20-something years ago.
Ouch.
I mean, my Jeep's okay, but...
It's not a fucking Dodge Dart with a fucking 340 in it.
No.
I could nerd out on cars all day, man. I'm a car nut.
I know. I don't get to talk about it much because most people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that. That in my day to day,
Right.
They don't know what an old Dodge Mopar is. And,
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you work with all musicians, right?
we
At your
work.
company.
No, I mean like pretty much we work with everything.
Everything.
Yeah, like the one single off person coming in or guy starting his business and needs business cards, whatever. Because we do business cards, we do banners.
Oh, right.
We do signs.
Y'all
plus
do everything.
Yeah, a little bit of
T-shirts,
everything. And then the
Anything
t-shirts.
screen printable.
Try
I'm sure.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Baker gets real creative.
Well, I was about to say, if you talk to Baker, if you really need something done odd, because he's the one that's creative. I just go, hey, can we do this? And he says, what can you do to art? And I say, yeah. He said, okay, yeah, we can do it.
I'll figure it out.
That's what it's come down to.
Yeah.
He's really good at his end, and I've learned as much as I can so far on my end. Because I was not a graphic artist at all before we got into this.
You just jumped in. Mm-hmm. Just go with it. That's how I do it most everything,
I
man.
spent probably 6 months to a year learning from a guy in there, working from him.
Yeah.
And at the same time, already printing for him.
Yeah.
But he was doing the graphics, and then Baker would print, and we'd do it late at night.
Yeah.
Because he had a full-time job during the day.
Damn.
Baker did. Yeah. So then
Damn.
he'd come up there and print with me at night. We did that for a little while. And then once we got going good enough, we got Baker out of there and got him in the shop. But I've learned since then, I guess 5 years, I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you want it bad enough, man, you'll force it.
It's fun.
It is fun.
Like I said, I spent 15 years in factories.
Yeah, we were
This is
talking
a
about that
blast.
outside, man. I did large format printing for a year or two, and it was just it sounds cooler than it is. That large
yeah.
format shit, because you think, wow, man, and when you first see those printers, you're like, this is fucking nuts.
Oh, no, but if that's all you're getting to do,
Yeah.
that part's more. I mean, because for me, I do the graphics.
Exactly.
I
No,
deal
I
with
didn't touch
customers.
graphics, man. I didn't deal
Yeah.
with customers. I just went in. I clicked on the, turned the thing on. You have to clean it. Unbelievable. And the setup is ridiculous.
Well, and see, but that and then just push a button and watch.
That's
go.
it.
I know.
Yeah. And we would do these Kroger runs, man. Like you were talking about those Walmart boxes. We would do these Kroger runs, and we would open. So we had like 5 people that worked there.
Mm-hmm.
So we would split up the entire day and night, and we would someone would be there for 24 hours a day for like 3 weeks,
Just watching it run.
just watching shit run. Flatbeds, just whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, I made
Whoop,
peanut
whoop, whoop,
butter,
whoop.
so you just switch out. Okay, change the jar. Go.
You worked
get-
at Skippy,
I did. I worked at Skippy for about 5-6 years.
dude. Our my friend's dad works there. That's a pretty cool job. He brings
It
some
ain't bad.
peanut butter and gives it to me for free.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. The 4-pound jars.
And when it's fresh,
Oh yeah.
like even though he
Well, I
gave
can't
it to
tell you because that was a great snack when you're working overnight and you're starving and you're on your job and you have to check. Oh no, man. The key is because you got to remember it's a brand new jar.
right.
So now I'm not wasteful, so I would use that same jar all night long. But I'd grab one of my first checks and pop the seal. Well, then you grab that seal off and you just bend it.
Oh,
and
like a
you
little
use it
spoon.
like a spoon.
There you go.
And you just
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, let me tell you. So no, I didn't have a mess of peanut butter on me.
Yeah.
I was eating it cleanly. But man, I did. I got through many a night eating peanut butter there
That's great.
when I was just couldn't go to break at the time. And
Was
be
third
hungry.
shift, so like overnight.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I worked third shift probably 14 years.
dang.
I don't like sunlight.
No, okay. We should have did this at night.
No, I'm better in the dark. Now this is the daytime stuff. I'm getting more used to it, but I worked overnight because being the way I was, I would work overnight and then go home and sleep and wake up once my kids got old to be at school. I'd
Right.
get up and go pick them up from school, and then I'd go coach whatever sport they were playing. Then they'd go to bed,
Go to work.
I might take a nap for an hour, and then I'd go to work.
Dang.
And then if I had to work over, I'd get off at noon instead of 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's the time Dad would get in trouble because he'd try so hard to stay awake till 3 to pick him up,
Right.
and would fall asleep and wake up at 3:30
Oops.
to the phone ringing. Mr. Moore, where are you? Oh, hold on, sorry.
Now you can just set up an Uber.
Yeah, it's a totally different world now. let me
Totally
tell you.
different world.
Yeah, because I had a home phone they were calling me on back then. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
It
you
wasn't
can't escape
my cell
that.
phone.
Yeah. So when you were booking all those old shows, so did you rely a lot on other bands telling you who was who, or was there some sort of
I
other?
remember I say I'm a music nerd, man. I search.
So you were going to record stores.
I was that. Yeah, well, I was that guy that looked in the band I liked, thank yous, and found every other band you could possibly find. And the internet was the greatest thing ever invented. If
At
you
the
want
time,
to
yeah.
find music, I mean, especially even now it's like, oh well, whatever. It's just all it's
Now
everywhere.
it's
It's easy.
everywhere, yeah.
No. When it first came, the ability to literally just go and listen to somebody by their name because you liked somebody else and
Right.
you've seen where they said thanks to this band.
Yeah.
And then you went and, mp3.com.
Oh yeah. MP3.com.
Who's this band? That was probably one of my favorite ones was everybody He Is Legend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I found them on mp3.com.
Dang.
But I found them before they were He Is Legend.
Okay.
They were it was like Uriah Heep or something. It was like some name that they couldn't keep anyway.
Yeah.
And they had an EP, and that was like you're showing them CDs. Like I had a burned CD that had like 5 or 6 songs that I downloaded from mp3.com as theirs. It was good stuff, man.
Oh, the days of those giant booklets, flipping through all those burned
I got
playlists.
all of them. I have them all.
You still got them all?
I got every one of them. Every bit of that stuff that I had back then.
So aside from this one that I got from you, the oldest thing I have, my buddy Drew Garrison,
Oh yeah.
he burned me this one, the Throwing Myself.
Uh-huh.
And other than that, man, that's probably all the only old stuff I still have, aside from my own projects, which,
Oh no.
that
I
shit
don't actually have
stays
my own projects.
in the dungeon.
You hear me? I don't even have my own projects really.
Oh, check it out. Encomium. Remember Encomium,
I do.
man?
Well,
Yeah,
I
they
booked
played-
Encomium's first show.
Oh, yeah. I was
They played with
at that
Figure
show.
4, and no, they played with were you at the Figure 4 one?
Yeah.
They played with Figure 4 in Lakewood.
Yep. Yeah, man. That was some fucking, man, I'm telling you, man.
Well, I played in
memories-
the other band that played that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's 3 bands.
Yep.
You had, let's see, actually lineup was Encomium, Catharsis, and Figure 4.
Catharsis.
Yeah, which became Stir the Embers or whatever.
Stir the Embers. That's right.
Yeah, that was, I quit and Bowie took my place.
Okay.
But I was in it, and they actually played that Figure 4 show.
Damn. All the shit I don't remember.
I only played a handful, like for a little bit of time, but with life at that time, it was already starting to get too busy.
Crazy, man.
And so Bowie at the time he hadn't even really gotten a band or anything.
Right.
and I was using the guitarist's gear anyway. So I was like, you should just go take my place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, they're teaching me they taught me everything I'm playing, so they can teach. I said, dude, it's pretty simple.
Well, back then, man, you know,
Well, it was like
chords
new
rate
metal
supreme,
though.
yeah.
No, it's like new metal, like in that like worst kind of way. You know, just that.
Oh, I remember I had them at a couple of I had guitarists at one of my shows, and then Stir the Embers later on at one of my shows that I had. Yeah.
You remember?
Good times, man. Great times. I still have that damn CD around here somewhere.
Oh, see, yeah.
But I thought that's when I found this. I was rooting through. You know how you do. You root through the boxes. I found this guy with all
my
that stuff in
is
it.
in a
Tubs.
great big Tupperware, so a huge one, and there's probably a couple thousand CDs.
Oh my god.
Minimal couple thousand. I mean, it's
Someday you got
them
to
great
come
big
by and look.
old school ones, you know, or like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's like 4 of those
Holy shit.
full, and then the smaller.
The little single booklets.
No, that you still had the double.
The double.
But yeah, I had 2 or 3 of those.
Dang.
Like everything I sold, I had.
Oh right. So you had your copy.
Everything I sold, I had. Because
Wow.
if I sold it, I must have listened to it. I ain't selling something I don't listen to or I
Right.
haven't checked out. Because that's how I was.
That is
I still would
wild.
be if possible, if it was still a game to do.
You're
which
right.
I've thought about it a couple times. I've actually hit up because I used to do Face Down.
Yeah.
That's how I had like point of recognition. All them bands was because I did distro for Face Down back then.
Yep.
And it was such a small time that when they needed a show and hey, we're passing through Little Rock, because I bought from him, the label would hit me up and say, hey, we're trying to get a band through there.
Oh, so you just
That's
stick
how
them
we
at the front
had.
line and
That's how we had Figure 4, Point of Recognition. All them was just because I sold CDs. They knew nobody else down here who was into the scene at all.
damn.
And so
Well, yeah, there wasn't a lot for
Find
that.
it,
scene.
find it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because try to be that band now, it's a little easier because you can put your stuff on
Yes.
the internet and do all this and the other. But try to be that band that's from way the hell
Yeah.
the other side of the United States or even Canada, and you're trying to get a show at Vino's,
Yeah.
and you're not that band that is known. You're
Oh no,
you know,
not then. Yeah, expect all those bands. Like, yeah, we're sitting here. We got to say like numbers too. Like these weren't the shows you go to now where there's 1,000 people there to see that band. It was like 100 was a great night.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You
because
felt
nobody
good at
knew who they
100.
were. Yeah.
Oh, you legitimately felt good at 100 at any of those. And we used to have jokes that when we were doing our like 1 or 2 shows a year kind of thing, we averaged 100 to 150. It wasn't until we started being on the more regular that we had small shows, and then we were sad because we were so used to always having big shows.
You jumped the shark or whatever. You had all these great experiences first, and then you saw the real examples of
I know,
throwing
but
shows.
it was really awesome what we were allowed to do.
Really was, man.
And it got really my brother's big reason we were allowed to do the majority of it because he was the adult that
shout out
took the
to your brother,
responsibility on everything.
Because I saw some of my favorite.
Well, see, because you got to remember, I was barely not even 20 when I was throwing
Your
those shows
brother's
a lot of
90,
times.
so he was
But
already almost 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so he was a responsible one there for everything, and he I had certain rules that I had to follow and what I could book and what I couldn't.
Yeah.
But he pretty much let me just throw shows.
Well, it's kind of convenient because it was a church, and back then that's the Christian metal boom was just.
Oh, it was huge.
It was massive. It was it was everything for the
yeah.
underground. I mean that it took over. It was weird.
And it was just because people needed something positive.
True.
I mean, more than anything, the music was the same.
But
It
they
wasn't
were
like the
doing-
band sounded different than
But also-
anything else you were
well,
listening to.
Yeah, but they were doing something different than what was on the radio. So kids
Oh,
who
yeah.
needed an escape.
But
you
see,
weren't
that's
gonna get
always
that on
there
the
to me, and
radio.
that's why I joke with people, and I know disrespect to anybody who likes any of the old bands, but a lot of the bands that people consider iconic, I don't even like. I don't care about them, and it's because it's not that they're bad. It's just when they were around and you were into them, I was listening
were
to
already
something
doing
more
something
underground at
different,
the time that it's been around forever. You go back to Bad Brains and
yeah.
Threat and Black, and just all these like old school bands that weren't nothing you were going to hear in the general public on all,
Right.
If somebody knew what that was, they were part of that
100%.
small group of people. you know?
Yeah. When it would, because in high school I had 2 different groups of friends because I was kind of transitioning to my music friends from my car friends. 2 different.
I
groups
was a
of
jock,
people.
man.
Yeah. So when I would talk
football
to
my
my
life.
country car buddies, and I would start saying these bands that I was just figuring out, because they listen to fucking Merle Haggard and shit.
Ain't nothing
Which
wrong with
nothing
that.
wrong with Merle
Yeah,
Haggard.
I like
fucking love
Merle Haggard.
I'm
I
just
still
saying.
love my
when you're like, man, you got to check out this death metal band, Under Oath. You know, it's like, and that sentence even is weird now because
Now, and you probably weren't, and you might have been because it was just a weird one. You know, I guess now it's Pulaski Tech or something, but the Expo Center. Mm-hmm. All right, there was a show that was supposed to happen one night, and it was supposed to be Under Oath, Narcissus, A Few Left Standing,
oh man,
and Tantrum of the Muse. All four of them were on the tour. They were all going to Alabama for the fest the next day, and so I had all four of them booked at the Expo Center. We had between probably 100, 200 people there. This was a mess of thing because Few Left Standing was there,
yeah,
and Tantrum of the Muse was there, and Narcissus was there. This was again way before everybody had cell phones readily available and things to communicate to each other. Under Oath couldn't find a venue.
They couldn't find it.
Nope, and they had the trailer, and everybody was sharing gear.
No, idiots.
So everybody hangs out, the bands, we kick it for several hours with everybody that was there, just hangs out, right? We ran the Expo Center and everything. But it was all done to where we raised money to pay for all of our shows back then. So it was just like, okay. But everybody got to hang out with the bands anyway.
So it's a big ass meet and greet.
Yeah, pretty much. Of some really cool bands that were, at the time, not everybody really knew them at all. But it was going to be one hell of a show. That was my biggest failure of like, that could have been so much fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely wasn't at that. I would remember that.
No, we just hung out. Like I said,
Yeah, I would remember just.
The funny thing was I was going to the festival they were all playing at.
Oh, man.
And so Narcissus was like, dude standing, he was in this set, he goes and climbs on their great big main speakers and does all this crazy stuff, whatever. And he's talking there in between songs. He's like, oh yeah. And I know he's here somewhere because we were talking. Michael Moore, I'm sorry, man, that we didn't get to play last night. This song's for you. And I'm just like, because I love that band. Like most people ain't gonna know who Narcissus is. You're not gonna, they're on Spotify now though. I love that. Yeah, I love that. But they were at that time. It was just like good heavy stuff,
Oh, yeah.
But they were playing on that fest alongside Hatebreed and back then Unearth when they were first starting out.
Ooh.
Well, yeah. See, Unearth, Bleeding Through. I went to that fest and I chose to go watch Bleeding Through instead of watching Living Sacrifice.
Well, you'd already seen Living Sacrifice a bunch, I'm sure.
A whole bunch. And they were on the main stage, and there's only 2 stages. Bleeding Through was like the new band.
There you go.
And oh man, they had one of the best shows I've seen out of the whole fest. So I was just like, sorry.
Yeah,
That was cool. I found this awesome band. Sorry, I didn't see you guys. Probably said yes, I did. Sorry if y'all hear this. I probably did say I heard White I was there in front, but I wasn't. I was watching Bleeding Through.
The truth finally comes out.
Oh man, that fest was awesome. The Furnace Fest is what
Furnace
it was.
Fest, yeah.
Yeah, I went 2 years in a row. I think there was only 3 of them, but I went to 2 of the 3. And man, you talking about good times.
They should bring that back.
I wish. Chad does the dude that he was originally Takeo, and he was the one that did Furnace Fest.
Mm-hmm.
When he sold, he went to work for Solid State.
Yeah.
And sold to them. That's how Under Oath and everybody ended up on Solid State. It was because he sold his.
Because he sold his whole category.
He sold his whole, like all his rights,
Catalog.
all his stuff, and went to work for him.
Yep.
He did that for a while. Now he's actually got like a ministry thing still. Like he went back to doing ministry stuff. I think it's Come and Live, and I think there's music there of some form and stuff.
Yeah.
He's still into everything. But heck, he's at least my age or older. So
Yeah, he only got so much time in the
getting old, man.
Yeah, and getting old definitely sucks. It's for things like that. When your life is just so chaotic, your brain can only take in so many things at a time. At some point, you're just like, my God, it's enough. But
Focus.
I remember, focus. Yeah, I remember seeing Beloved there with
Love Me Without
like
You.
20 people, maybe 30 people.
No.
There was like
that one ended up. Well, again, we look at numbers and skew because it was probably less than 100, more than 50.
Less than 100.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that like not a bad show, but yeah, it was Beloved of Me Without You.
Yeah, and I remember showing up because I didn't know who any of those bands were, and we just because at some point we just started coming as just like a regular thing to do.
Well, Beloved was still on the record label Vindicated Records at the time.
Yeah.
Which was just like 2 people from Tennessee, like small label. That was where they had just started out still. and released the EP. And the Chad at Takeo told me, "Hey, you got to check this band out."
So that's how you figured it out.
That's how I found Beloved. And then they only had like 2 or 3 releases on that they put out on their little label. I think it was 2 Chicks even. And I bought some of all 3. And I started listening to Beloved, and it was like, oh man,
dude.
So I was telling everybody, no, you need to get this. No, buy this. But no, you get $3. Cool. Just
yeah.
You need this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is good. This is good.
Even then, when nobody knew who they were yet, they were so electrifying. And it was the first time I ever saw a drummer do the
vocals like that.
bits and
Oh yeah,
the vocals like that. And he was
not just play something stupid, simple.
No, complicated shit. So when you go back and listen to Beloved. You should.
I'll do all the time.
The Running EP and Failure On, 2 fucking fantastic records. I want to show you something after this. Remind me. I got something real special of a Beloved.
Memorabilia.
Yeah, but he's playing like his cymbals, his toms. They're all toms. Everything was a tom.
Oh yeah.
And he was doing these complicated cymbal rhythmic
and still
patterns.
Had the old school mic on the stand.
The boom coming over and it was right in front of his face.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he had to literally be still to sing into it, kind of thing. While he's moving the rest of his body. It was
wild,
great.
man. Wild. I remember like afterwards, I can still remember like going up to him like, dude, and idiotic questions. How do you do that? This is like, never seen it before.
No, it was so far and few between you seeing any kind of drummer trying to sing at all and do anything. That's why like when Under Oath was doing what he was doing and stuff, it's just rare. But he took half the vocals and and carried it. It was tough stuff.
Any breakdown they have, it's him.
Which he's got a band. You've heard them. They're still around from what I've heard.
Well, they went away because he went to the Almost to drum, which was with Aaron, and then that defunct, and now they just put out a new album.
Yeah,
but it's not
back
in that.
again, but it's not even.
But then so he was in Advent, but then left, and then Advent was mostly Beloved members, and then now they're back. I do believe Advent.
I think
is
so.
back.
I think I've seen something that Advent's back.
Yeah, which they're fucking ripped.
Well, I was about to say, I think I've heard somebody on Spotify is
his vocals are. Wow.
Oh yeah, there was so many. There's so many bands from that era, like 99, 2004, of just really good bands. They even went longer. But like I say, started as their smaller point in that time frame. Because I watched what would become Misery Signals as 7 Angels, 7 Plagues at Furnace Fest and was blown away. Thought, man, that band is. I bought both of their EPs at the time that they had and kept up with them to realize that they changed their name to Misery Signals. And
look at now.
Yeah, that's a good band, right?
Yeah.
We know that band.
Right.
7 Angels, 7 Plagues was just as good.
That's what you try to tell people too. Is like some of these bands, man, they were like they didn't either the name changed like Ludacris and Norman Jean
and
now.
Norman Jean. Mm-hmm.
So somebody who's younger might not understand.
And then that one even more so than any of them because the Throwing Myself, they'd already started going away from the samples and the things of that nature so much. The first EP, they were right in the middle of, hey, let's try this thing out. Let's be. Let's have this in here because I think that's probably about the time of Limp Bizkit, more like.
Yeah, it was very. it shows its age quite well because of all those other things they were doing.
But only if you're old enough to have been there.
That's true.
Because like a lot of them same bands now. I say this in that going to, what was it? So What Fest.
South by So What?
Yeah.
In Dallas.
And Emery was playing.
Okay.
Last 2 or 3 years ago. And just seeing some of these kids walking around and literally looking up there like, who are these old guys?
Yeah.
And I'm standing there like, these dudes are my age. Because they're all 40 or so like I am. And then, dude, they put on a show. They were awesome. They sounded like the CD, and why and comparative to some of the younger bands, put on a better show. Actually,
because their bodies let them.
Well, I'm just like, man, I don't know, because I can do that. I can still go just as wild as I did before. I'm just gonna hurt the next day. Now.
I'm saying, but Emery, it's like, okay, well, they're 40 and they've been touring.
They're in way better shape than I am.
They've played tens of thousands of shows, I'm sure, at this point.
Oh yeah.
And it's like your body only gonna hold up so long. And I will say this: Toby Morrell is a powerhouse vocalist.
Yeah.
That man, I saw him in a house show in Bryant
when they did the Toby and
Matt or whatever.
Yeah.
He didn't have a microphone.
See, that was stuff I
or-
missed because I wasn't going to
Yeah.
shows because of everything. But I see that it was around and thought,
Yep.
man, that looks so good.
Dude, he didn't even have a microphone, and it was concussive to your ears because it was just in a little tiny. I mean, this house is tiny, like 600 square feet. They were playing in the living room. There was probably 30 people in there. It was packed, and his dude. I'm just, you know, you can
that's why those
take
bands- that's why those
like
bands are
Emery or
back
not,
around
but
right
man,
now.
that guy can sing unbelievable.
You know, but that's why those bands are back around and doing good right now.
Yeah,
Is
this
because-
resurgence they're having. All
But
those
it, but
bands.
it goes to the fact that their stuff holds up.
It does. It's
Yeah.
timeless. Yeah,
It's just as good now as it was then.
it's true.
And that's what was great about watching them there because you could tell these same kids who probably just seen some band that was influenced by Emery, but you have no idea who Emery is.
Yep.
And now you just witness who, you know, and you just see people be like, wow, who is this band? And I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, this band's that old, so I get it.
Yeah, totally. Do you have any like? How long did the venue run for? Was it like a few years?
Somewhere probably, my brother could give you exact dates, but I'd say the actual venue itself ran for less than 2 years.
Less than
But
2 years.
Over a year.
Saw so many shows in that time. Did any one band like stand out more than the rest? Like when you just saw them, you were like, "This can't be real."
There was a lot of really good ones. My favorite show, though, still is always going to fall on that Me Without You and Beloved.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, yes, we already talked about Beloved.
So
which
epic.
Me Without You is the other band.
They're
And at the time,
yeah.
especially here, we have no idea what Me Without You is.
No.
I had just seen them at Cornerstone. See, I got to have some fun back then. I do it again now, though. I say that because I did it back when my kids were first babies.
Mm-hmm.
They would go stay with the grandparents or stuff for during the summer, and me and the wife would go find music festivals and
Sure.
just go watch bands all the time. 'Cause I'm a music nerd. Again, that's how you found it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd go to Cornerstone and spend a week and just watch every band I could possibly watch.
Buy the merch.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, get the CD,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Literally.
the cassette.
And this is nothing now, but then it was like a damn house payment. It still is. But like I would go to Cornerstone about $400 or $500 just for merch. You know?
Oh yeah.
And that is how I found Me Without You. Is I was wandering around through the merch table, and there's this one CD, and you had to pay money to be in the merch table back then. There's this table, and there's one CD sitting there, a handwritten note thing for fans of, and what was the drummer? It was sitting there, Ricky, I think, if I remember right. He's sitting there, and I walk up, and the first thing I read is like for fans of Fugazi, a couple different ones that I was like, I like those bands, you know.
Yeah.
So and then I'm like, I look, and it's like $5,
Yep.
and I
Missed that too.
when I've got that much money in my that I'm already playing, you just sold me. And the fact that you're sitting here at a wooden table with nothing but a couple CDs in your box down there, I'll give you $5.
Yep.
I go we had a minivan and we took the seats out, had air mattress in the back. Me and the wife were sleeping there, so I had the CD player. So he had told me they were playing a Generator show the next day. I said, okay, cool. So I go and I said, hey, let's check that band out, see if they're worth watching. Oh man, it was their first. I never said I was brave EP is what I'd bought. You know, oh man, it was so good and raw and just. I was like, yeah, we got to go watch them.
It's my favorite thing about that band, how raw they are.
Well, we go watch them, and remember I tell you that their other band, Operation, was on Take Hold.
Yeah.
Well, this is when I find out that he's selling the Solid State and he's doing this, but because as I go watch Me Without You at the Generator show, that's who I stand next to. It's Chad Johnson, the guy who.
Okay.
And he's telling, we're talking, and I looked at him, I said, these guys, there's two of these guys are in operation. I said, how did you miss this? Because we walk up to the Generator show, they're in full tuxedo in July.
Oh.
Yeah. In the dirt.
All
'Cause
performance.
there's no stage.
Yeah.
Because it's just running off the generator. So they're in the dirt, full tuxedo, going nuts. Like you literally had to duck and watch because they hit you in the head with a guitar.
Oh yeah.
They were going wild. And it was just like jaw dropping and walking around like, this is amazing.
It's exciting. It's so
And-
exciting.
He looked, he said, man, I didn't know. He said, I heard whatever their demo was.
Yeah.
He said, it sounded like crap. Like whatever they'd put out before, you know.
Yeah.
It was bad recording, just horribly done. And he's like, it just sounded
Tape
bad.
recorder in the edge of the room, you know, kind of shit. Yeah.
So he's like, they just sounded bad. And
I mean, you can't win them all, but damn.
well, he did because after that they signed Tooth and Nail Solid State
Tooth and nail, yeah.
because that's where he was going. So automatically he's like, no, yeah, I'm fixing that though because they're gonna be over here.
I saw Anathello at your venue.
Oh yeah.
And when you bring that band up, no one's heard of that fucking band.
No.
No one. And all you have to do is
All day. I still listen to that.
oh yeah.
I have their CDs as well from back then.
Oh, I have to look
That's what I
it
say.
up.
Anything and everything from back then.
Dude, I'll
I
pay
still
you.
have it.
I'll pay you money for a burned copy of that Anathello record. They
It's
were
in-
so unique.
I'm just so lazy now that I don't ever pull them out because I don't even have CD players anywhere hardly.
My
to
car
play
is the
them.
only spot I got one.
I do too.
The
It
one on my
skips all the time,
computer.
so I don't wanna ruin
It's
my
so
CD.
old it broke.
Well, I'm gonna ruin my CD scratch up, put it in the car.
Oh really?
I mean mine, and these things are 30 years old.
Yeah, and they already got a shelf life too, so they're probably not the same conditions when you bought
sure.
them. They
I'm just-
deteriorate on their own.
I'm just hoping they're not ruined in there at this point because I
Right.
haven't pulled them out in a minute. And it's so
Ugh.
bad because even laziness of how I was, I got all those cases.
Yeah.
There is still over 100 CDs in their cases that I never put into the case like I was
into the
supposed to.
actual case. Dang.
Yeah, that's just sitting in there.
Just sitting
like different stuff, Sepultura, different things that
Sepultura.
because I've like, you know, 'cause we talk about that being in church. I've always had a lot of Christian music.
Right,
I've always
right.
been a Christian, but I've never been one that's like, I'm not going to listen to anything that's not Christian.
The
I love it.
secular stuff.
Yeah, see, me. Music's music.
Yeah, same.
And the only rules I had is I couldn't book bands there that weren't Christian when I was doing that.
Well, it was a church. Makes
Exactly.
sense. Yeah.
And now it wasn't that we didn't want to.
Right. Yeah.
It was, and it's not that in the future when we get to do what we want to do, that we're not going to book everything. And the reason we were able to do it at church, my brother was always a youth pastor.
Yeah.
Whatever he's an ordained whatever to where he married me and my wife. He was the presiding
The minister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
We're one of like 2 or 3 weddings he's did in all these years. But you know, whatever we do, if we get to have a venue type thing again, he'll probably still do some kind of outreach type thing there.
Oh yeah.
Me, I'm not that guy. I just like my music.
Yeah.
You know. Now I believe what I believe, and I'm the way I am. But
There you go.
But it's still, I love my music.
Yo, I mean, I don't listen to as much as I should, but all my stuff, like, kind of, you know, I don't find a lot of new stuff unless they're local around here, which is kind of weird because I don't get on Spotify or Apple
Oh no,
Music
that's
or
what I'm
nothing.
saying. Spotify's awesome for that stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
I just don't know if I would retain any of it. That's like, and every new thing I hear that's from it, I'm like, wow, that's great. But there's also like 15 other bands that sound the same. And
Well, and that's the biggest thing
It's
is
so
if you're not
congested
able to
for
get out
me.
and go to the shows and see the bands,
yeah,
it
I
is
get that
then
perspective.
it is very much congested, especially if it's only what you're getting to see here, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we miss half of the tours and then some.
almost
you
all
know?
of them. Yeah,
And we always will.
yeah.
And that's the thing. And hey, I don't hardly book shows anymore because it's a whole different game than
It's a
it was
different
back
ball game,
then,
man.
You know.
And it's a hard one now.
Oh yeah.
Used to, there was like this thing that doesn't exist anymore where people just went out of their house because they just wanted to get the fuck out of their house. And now it's
Well,
so
and money
different.
was different in things. It's like when you book, I ain't gonna tell you how much I paid some bands because that's just wrong with them. But I didn't ever pay. I mean,
$5,000
nah,
guarantees.
man, we're talking some
Yeah.
bands coming out of state and stuff were taking $50 to $75.
Yeah. Which now that ain't even gas.
Uh-uh.
You know? It's like, wow, we came here in a V8 from 2 states away. We need at least $200 just to get here.
Yeah, well, and that's why I've had to get out of shows so much because I still got a lot of friends and things and bands
Mm-hmm.
and things that I'll get messages on Facebook or emails or whatever
Yeah.
the hell modem you want to go with through. I have all my kids mess with me because I stay up to date. I have all the different. I have Snapchat even, but I don't use it for anything more than talking to them.
That's it. Yeah.
You know?
Do you remember we were talking about it at Vino's, the Ann Hutchinson show?
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite stories because that show
That
was
CD broke. That's one that I will always be upset.
dude.
I
If I
broke
can
that
find
CD.
mine, if I can find mine, I'll.
Oh, you have that one?
I do. It's somewhere in this
Only
house.
a
I
devil
have a
from the waist
collection.
downward.
I have a collection that I have a bunch of tubs out there. I'll go look out there.
That
But I
one,
had-
because they had that like iconic like old
Yes.
school cover that made them look like it was like
I can't remember. Like,
Well,
was
like
it
you go to Walmart and
RCA
buy the
Records
classic
or something?
greatest hit
Yeah,
CDs.
That's it. The classic greatest hit CDs. It's that gray stripe with the singular stock looking photo.
Yeah.
And they
And-
were like in sweaters and shit.
Oh man, and I did not know exactly to what extreme they were.
They were wild.
And they were, and it was the funnest thing because they were wild. And again, remember, I only booked bands that were considered Christian.
Sure.
And nothing against either way, but here I was when I booked them. I didn't have a show, and I was going to be competing with a very big show, and so I didn't want to go against it. And so Ann Hutchinson was booked to play the TNT over here.
Yes, they were. I was there.
For it was like a battle of bands, and they were going to be the main act.
That's it.
And yeah, let me tell you, if that would have happened, because now they would be considered like, hey, you see that, whatever, it's nothing. But back then, these dudes were pushing limits for Arkansas. Coming in here with literally wearing, the girl jeans because you couldn't get skinny jeans like that.
That's yeah, they were.
And that hadn't got here yet.
No. Dude, I remember they were wearing scarves.
Uh-huh.
They had skinny jeans on, and this is in an era where that shit did not exist here. I'm trying to set the tone for people. Like that show was because it was supposed to be in Bryant, and we were there. My band was playing the Battle of the Bands.
Now, did y'all come play over?
Yes, we did because I knew you, and okay, so cell phones existed finally, and then we called and said, "Hey, can we play too?" And we had played some shows there, and you were like, "Well, I'll give you." I think we got to play 3 songs or something.
Yeah.
It was very small.
Well,
amount.
because we just wanted to still be able to let the show go on.
So we played just a couple of songs,
You look at what that was though. That was a show booked in Bryant.
Yes.
That because of rain outside, after only probably few bands got to play.
It was very few, maybe 2.
We were able to take that show, flip it, put it in a whole nother venue, and not charge you again to come to that venue because they didn't give. I don't think they gave the money back up here.
I don't think they did either,
if I remember right, because that was the whole thing. We were like, man, we ain't charging. That was again. I called my brother, said, "Can we do it? Is it possible?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I just got to go get the sound ready." Because we were taking the sound from the church.
Yeah.
Like
so
the actual sanctuary. Yeah.
Room.
We would do shows. We'd have to go take the PA down.
Dang.
Put it over here, hook it all up.
So while everyone was on their way, your brother was
he was there getting situated. And then we were setting up. We worked like that, man.
That's so sick.
That's why it's awesome that he's now the owner at the shop with me up there doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
That was started in January. And me and him get along good. We work good, so.
That's awesome, man. And then that show went off without a hitch. And then Anna Hutchinson asked me to be their bassist, and then I told him no because I was in high school.
But they were awesome.
They were incredible.
I mean, for then, like again,
it's
not
one
only
of my
did they
favorite
look
nights.
wild as can be for us.
Never seen anybody like them.
But they musically were great too. And they had a sound that we weren't even used to that heavy. They had kind of that Southern heavy Every Time I Die-ish a little bit vibe going before we really.
Before it was a thing.
Yeah.
They were like on the forefront of that whole genre.
They were from Kentucky, if I remember right.
Yeah, they were. Damn, what a great band. So then, the venue goes away and all that kind of stuff, and then you start doing the printing things, and you work in you're a dad.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so how did the Moore Bros Printing Co. thing come about?
Well, see, because the Moore Bros goes from being Altura Graphics originally, which was a whole nother guy that when I was coaching ball, nobody could help me. The first year I got started coaching my kids in softball, and I literally had like 4 weeks to get uniforms, this, that, and the other. I went so much money, all these stipulations. And everybody's like, "Oh no, we're 6 to 8 weeks out. 6 to 8 weeks out." Everywhere I went, "Oh well, yeah, we could do it, but it's gonna cost double what I had money wise." And I run into this dude, and he's like, "I can have next week. Be like $40." It's like, dude, what?
Yeah.
So he ends up being one, really cool dude. For years, he does our uniforms. Every time I need them, I go to him. My wife I'd worked and supported for the first half, and she went to school, and she got out, and she started making about she'd been working for several years doing what she was doing. It was making about what I was making for most of the time. So it was one of the things where if there was a time to do it, we may as well go for it now.
Right.
Our kids were getting 13, 14.
Hitting that sweet spot where they can stay home alone.
They could be home by themselves. They weren't going to trip if dad wasn't just working every day and making all this money and doing all this another day, old enough to say, hey, this is cool.
Right.
And we still would do whatever we could do, which we went to Warped Tour last night. I took my kids we go to Music Fest. And
that's cool, man.
The first show they went to, I think with me, the first one, my youngest went with me, and we watched Skip the Four play, F1 This Donnie, and somebody else at Downtown.
Nice.
And so I was telling her, like, yeah, okay, this band's from Italy, this band's from Canada. And she's getting to talk to them and hang out with these guys, you know, as like 13 years old. And they're from Italy and Canada, and this, you know, like, this is how music really is. You know?
Yeah.
They're right there. They're not some weird star because
Right.
they're right there.
Go talk to them.
Now, eventually they may get to the point, you know, because I did watch POD go from they're right there to okay, security, I'm sorry.
Well, my bad, bro. Yeah, dude, that was and they were around for so long before that.
Oh, dude, me and my brother watched them in Lamplight Coffee Shop on JFK when they were touring for Snuff the Punk, the very first CD.
Dang.
In a van. And
wow.
It had a rap group, like a 2-man rap group.
Yeah.
Opening for them that rode around with them. And that was the show.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. And I don't know what year that was, but I wasn't even driving yet, I don't think. So I was probably like 15.
Wow.
Like 35 years ago.
So is it Altura Graphics?
That's what it was, yeah. And then...
And it was around for a while.
It was around almost probably, I think, about 10 years before I ever got involved with it. And my involvement was, okay, if I want to get out of this, I want to eventually work toward doing a venue.
Yeah.
And my goal with a venue, though, is always to have something that pays the bills to where the shows never is expected to pay the bills.
Right. It's a smart game plan. Overhead covered before.
So still the goal, still the plan.
Sure.
Until I die, that's the plan. We'll see.
Hey, man, anything I can do to help.
Well, you know, that's why the way I look at it. And now, it's just like, that's always been the plan. It took me probably 15 years from when I left. Well, no, 10 years when I left the scene altogether.
Yeah.
To come back and even start messing with it again. But it never left my mind. I just couldn't put the time to it.
Yeah, I get it, man.
You know, so now, still it's a goal. Whether it happens in a year or 20 years, who knows? I may be 60 before I get to go open a venue. But I'm still going to be about just music.
At least you get to do it.
I'll get to go to shows, and I won't have to pay.
and
I'll get to book bands I want to see.
There you go.
That's what I do. So it sounds great to me.
Especially if it's already paid for.
You know, and that's the thing. It also helps, like, as you get to where whatever the show is, don't matter what the show is.
Pressure.
The band gets to the door.
Right.
You know, so the better show it is, the bigger the band or whatever, hey, I ain't taking no cut. I don't need to cut.
Yeah.
I'm not counting on any money out of that. Don't want to. I don't plan on it. Don't need it. It's just for whoever plays that night.
Yeah.
Because I've had several instances in my life where somebody's took care of me like that.
Right.
When we played we went to that Cornerstone and I bought that CD from you and all that, I spent all my money. But I was coming back with a whole box of different CDs and stuff to sell here because I was getting bands that I seen there that were awesome that we never heard here. And I'm buying CDs from them for $5. Like bulk because they'll sell them to me cheap because they're like, yeah, take us down there and get them. Yes, help us, please.
Oh, we need another show,
right? Yeah. So I'm bringing the CDs to here. Well, we leave Cornerstone, where I need to stop and get gas. We drive about an hour away from where we were, so we get away from everybody and anybody we would know. And again, before cell phones and things, I need gas. Okay, we start to go get gas. I go to use the bank money that we're supposed to have. I've been gone for a week. I'm not doing the internet thing. I'm not paying it. I don't know what's going on in life. But somehow under my bank had to put a hold on the check we'd put in before we left.
Uh-oh.
That was going to last till the next day. Well, we were trying to get to our kids that night.
Oh.
And pick them up. And I'm supposed to work the next night, you know, whatever. So here we are in Illinois with payphones.
Champaign, is that where it used to be?
Bushnell.
Bushnell,
yeah, it's a little small town out there. And we were actually in like Springfield area whenever we realized we were out of money and needing more gas and all that. And I ended up going and driving and just on the fumes. And my wife says, just ask it. She's always the great one behind me here pushing me to do the only things I do right. She's telling me, hey, there's a kid skateboarding. She said, ask him, just go over there, ask him if there's somewhere there's shows and things where we might go set up and sell CDs tonight. Maybe we can make some money off of that because you got these CDs you spend all your money on. So go there, come out. He says, oh, yeah, there's a place down here. It's called, I believe it was the Attic or something like that. I can't remember now.
It's a venue?
Asylum or, yeah. Something, and it was the coolest venue. It was like a diner shop. Like you go in and it's like booths and all this like 50s looking diner shop, right? And I go, and it's like you sit at the bar stools at the thing. The guy comes up with the malt shop type thing, you know. And I'm just like, okay, I'm looking around like that's interesting. And I tell him the story and what's going on. He's like, well, yeah, he said, I'm the owner of this kind of thing and the other. And he said, we usually have shows. He said, but he said, actually tonight we don't have one. So he said, so if anybody does, people do tell him. I don't know how many will come by, whatever. But if anybody comes, you feel free to try to, to sell them your CDs if you can, whatever. And we sit there. He showed me. He opens these like double doors, and it's like a little airplane hangar built to the side of this diner.
And that's the venue.
And when it opens up, and that's the venues in there.
How about that shit?
And it was like,
that's cool.
He's got
man.
all this cool stuff, and
a diner venue.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we sit there night, sell probably $40 worth of CDs to people who come in. So we're gonna get floated down the road somehow.
Nice.
Which of course I'm selling them on Feel of Standing and all these bands that are really, really good. Me Without You, that I got their CDs while I was there. So I'm just passing along good music to people I don't know, and that's the point. But the night ends. He's got the clothes, whatever, and he says, "Man," he says, I always have my money prepared for my guarantees for my bands playing, and we had a problem, and they backed out, so we didn't have a show tonight." He said, "So I feel like you deserve my guarantee. I feel like I need to give it to you,
dude."
So it was like $100 that he was guaranteed whatever bands were supposed to play tonight. That he just handed me an envelope to get down the road.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's how we got home.
That's legit, man. What a good story.
I know, but it's wild when you look at it.
Oh, man.
That was 99-ish.
Wow. Well, back before gas was $9 a gallon. And
yeah, I know. And it was, when you actually took a $100 bill and were like, I'm going to get from Illinois to Oklahoma City.
There you go, yeah.
you didn't look at it and go, oh, I'm going to make it down, maybe out of Illinois.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, now it's like $100. It's like, shit, I ain't going to Dallas.
No.
So how long have you owned the print company now? With your brother, right?
Well, me and him have owned it since January. But
so just this year still?
Yeah, but my sister bought it from the dude that originally owned it after I'd worked for him for about 6 months. Because he was teaching me everything because I actually just asked him to teach me graphics. And he's like, man, I'm here by myself. I just need help.
Right.
I'll teach you everything you want to learn. Just anytime you can come help me. So I didn't have a schedule. I just worked. But I started learning all the stuff he did. It was all stuff it wasn't too complicated,
Yeah.
Setting up machines and doing the things I'd been doing. It was pretty simple to do these things. To put a roll on and hit a button.
Right.
So I started doing all that, and he's like, "Oh man, you get this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty easy." And he
not
said,
too hard.
After a couple months, he says, "Look, man, I ain't been on vacation in 4 years. I'm gonna go to California and visit my family and stuff, my dad and all that, because him and his wife, everybody's gonna go." He says, "I think you can handle running it. If we have any issues or whatever, I can do the art through the email from California, And I said, yeah, cool. I'll try.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks, he goes on vacation. I run it. Comes back and say, man, I want to move back to California. And I'm like, shit. Because I'd bought the screen print equipment, me and my buddy Matt Joyce from all the bands I was talking about. We had bought screen print equipment. And he financed the majority of it. And that was the start. We put it in Mike's. The guy was with Altura Graphics. Put it in that shop, and then was running it out of there, not doing a whole lot, but getting our feet into it.
Yeah.
And then he decided, I want to go back to California. And I'm like, damn, what are we going to do? Worst case scenario, I guess I'll just put it in my garage. We'll figure it out. We'll do whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, my sister called me. And she says, why is Mike selling the shop? I guess he had put it on Facebook or something. I wanted to be on top of everything. And she told me how much he wanted for it and this and the other. And I was like, I don't see why that'd be a bad price. And so they ended up buying it, her and my cousin. And I ran it starting a couple months after that. Ran it for them almost 5 years.
Okay.
And then they, both have, like, one still got a little kid that has autism and things. So she's very busy with him and then has to work. And so she didn't have enough time to try to really invest a whole bunch of time into it.
Right.
And, then my other sister, she's got, that's my cousin. My sister has plenty of things on her plate, so they could only get there when they could to actually be in-house. And without able to put the time in, it's hard to make it
course.
flourish more.
Of course.
So him kind of being the same shoes as me around this time, he'd worked at Maybelline, worked in factories for years and years and years, and finally hit the breaking point of, God, this shit sucks.
Yeah, dude.
You
You can
know?
only do it for so long, man.
Well, both of us did it in double-digit years.
Ooh.
You know, so we had our share, but
Yeah, factory life. It's tough.
now, oh man, I went from making really good money
Yeah.
to not hardly make shit. But hey,
Well, if
I'm
you
a lot
don't
happier.
risk, if you don't leap, you don't know, you know.
well, and then my thing is, if I can pay my bills every month, you know, and that kind of thing, I'll be fucking happy.
Right.
I don't care about anything beyond
Yeah, because
that.
it's a need. I
I
mean, it's
buy
neat.
I buy cash cars, and,
Do
they,
y'all,
and I drive them till they're done.
Do y'all, right? There you go. Yeah, that's all you need in life. I wish I would have done that, man. I made a fucking mistake getting a car payment. But it's just so much nicer. It's like, wow, I have $400 a month that are just $400 a month.
Oh yeah, I couldn't imagine that anymore.
Oh, it's terrifying.
But I did it back when I worked in all them factories, and I made
Right.
all that money like a dumbass.
Yeah, you know, live and learn. So y'all do mostly, is it all screen printing, or do y'all do like machine print as well?
No, yeah. We have a cutter, you know, plotter to cut vinyl and make shit, and we also
Okay.
have a
You got a roll to roll.
we got like a 5-foot printer, large format printer.
Cool.
They print banners and such,
Yeah, yeah.
and that. But then we outsource some other things. We have our hands in the ability to do a lot of crap, but in house, we those are the main things.
The main stuff. Cool, man. And you're doing my t-shirts for me?
Yeah, they're actually at the shop.
Oh,
So
that's
they'll
exciting.
be done sometime this week. The koozies and the t-shirts.
Oh yeah, shout out everybody. We're gonna have merch soon. Dude, let me know. I'll come by. I'll
yeah.
swipe some squeegees, man. I'd love to.
I don't know when he'll get to them. But
Is it Baker?
Yeah, he'll print. I've got to where through these years now of doing all this, especially because, you know, Fred being originally Baker, Erickson, and me,
Yeah.
and we were the three that were the production of the shop every day.
Right.
And then when Erickson moved away, Erickson's thing was
Fayetteville? Did he move to Fayetteville?
Oh no, Erickson's actually he's in Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, he went to Washington.
Damn.
Yeah, he went way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's checking it out, changing
Okay.
stuff up. Do you know, getting to be somewhere different. He hadn't have nothing tying him here like that anymore. And,
Hey, by all means,
and
man.
if you're still in your mid to late 20s and you're in Arkansas and you ain't got no reason to be here,
Yeah.
and you weren't
venture out.
born here,
Well, that's different. Yeah.
you weren't even born here. You were barely raised to a degree here. Yeah, fuck that. I'm probably going somewhere where there's at least recreational.
Were you born here?
Oh yeah, I'm born and
Were you?
raised.
Okay.
Yeah. North Little Rock all my life.
Really?
hmm
I was not. I was born in Dallas.
I've debated going places. But it's kind of pointless to me. I've visited. I've been to other places.
I think so long as you travel, you'll be all
I
right.
hated L.A. I hated that shit.
I don't think I'd ever live there. Right?
No, that was like the ruiner for me of thinking about going to any kind of big city.
Right.
Because in like again
It's
99, 2000, I went to L.A.
Yeah.
It was like, this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Compared to what it's like now.
Yeah.
And fuck that.
Yeah,
Even then.
40 million people live in that state.
Yeah, fuck that.
40 million.
The
That is-
dude I told you that he wanted to move to California, so he moved back. Within 2 years, he was back here.
He was already back.
And he was born and raised in California.
He's not used to it, man. It's
He
different.
said it sucked. He said
different.
after being here,
Yeah.
going back there is no.
It's just like
he said
you-
20-minute
a
drives, 2 hours.
2 hours. That's right.
He said, fuck that.
That's crazy shit. Yeah, you're out of your mind. I'll just walk.
I
Fuck
ain't
it.
going. I'm not
Dude,
doing
you could
it.
literally walk faster.
Yeah,
than
I'm
the
riding a
cars
bicycle
drive.
everywhere
It's
I
crazy,
go.
yeah.
I'd be one in shape motherfucker. So I would be on a bike
Right.
everywhere I fucking go.
And so the goal is still a venue at some point.
Oh, that's
How-
the dream, eventual future.
Good, man.
Some form. Just keep doing business right now. I mean, hell, we're 6 months into it being me and him. It's a long way to go.
Sure. Yeah. This is brand new. You're
But it's a
hopping.
blast.
It sounds like a blast.
It can be. I mean,
Every job's a job.
you're
but
welcome to pop up. That's always we have visitors that come by and hang out here and there because of the atmosphere. You know.
I was at
we're printing
Dogtown,
shirts.
and I didn't realize y'all were right next door.
Oh, down at the Barber Lounge.
Yeah. So I was there, and I was like, "Shit, I'm gonna pop in," and I pulled it. Oh shit, they're closed.
Yeah. They're open a little later than us, and they're open on Saturday. We don't do Saturdays.
It was later. That's why I was like, maybe someone's in the back.
Oh
You
no,
know?
no! If you went to the back, there's always a possibility.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Shit, I
yeah.
should've went around.
Because we hang out in The back area is our lounge /
Right.
break room. So,
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on here, man.
nah, thanks for having me out here. This is amusing because I don't know a whole lot of people from back then anymore that are around. Like most of the people they didn't stick with music much. And some of them did.
Yeah,
You know?
some.
And
There's a
I
couple
kind
of
of
us
laugh
left.
because the ones that did, y'all youngins and such.
Youngins and such.
Bowie, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you have kids now that are going into sports and all
Right.
that, and mine are in college, bro.
College. You got the empty
So
nest.
it's hard. That's why I was going for so long. It's hard to do that.
I can't imagine.
That's why those guys.
That's why. Well, that's why I stayed in because I don't have a family. I just have a
Why do
wife.
you think Baker's a music whore?
No. It's. I mean, dude, it's
He's got
legit.
his boy, but he don't. He's that's.
He brings
there's
his boy,
nothing
too.
beyond that. Yeah, there's nothing. There's not that like whole relationship and bullshit.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say bullshit because that's not true. I've been married 21 years and I love my wife. But hey, relationships and anything is
There's
is
obligations
not
that
easy.
you're- yeah, it's not
always.
easy.
You
Yeah.
know, you work for relationships.
That's right.
You work for anything good you get in life.
That's
me.
right. Well, if it's worth having, it's worth working for. You know. Shout out, little advice to you youngins out
But if
there.
you get it for free, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If somebody give it to you too. You don't look a. How's that old saying?
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Yeah.
if it's there, somebody hand it to you. I ain't saying don't do that either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that silly about shit.
I have one. I'll do one. I'll be like, you sure? Yeah, man, I'm sure. Cool, sweet, thanks.
Oh man, the bass I'm playing right now was given to
beautiful,
me, and I love
man.
that bass.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And
We
it
were
was
talking
handed
about
to
that
me.
bass for probably 15 minutes at the show the other
I know,
day.
and it was handed to me and said, "Hey, you like this, right?" Well, since I have what I want in my life, and I know you like this, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
get rid of it anyway. So here,
Dude, that's
amazing. But that's life, man, and this is it crosses. I know we're
no. You just say what
but
you
it
want.
crosses all the boundaries of all the things because I hit on Christianity, whatever, because that is my thing.
Yeah,
But I don't hold that. That has nothing to do with my relationships with people. It's
Right.
my own personal thing. And the person who give me that bass has nothing to do with looking at things in that same point of view as me. He has his own other thing. They do.
Right.
We're totally different on a lot of those out, but we can get along.
you don't have to be religious or
You shouldn't be.
whatever
Religion
to know
sucks.
how to treat somebody right.
Ooh,
That's
religion-
just
religion-
normal
I'll tell
human
you,
behavior.
you don't
Should
remember-
be.
All the way back to those days. The best thing about the bands I would book was they were anti-religion.
Yeah,
in
most
the
of
90s
them,
and 2000s. We were never about religion. Religion is the downfall of all of it.
I think I agree.
Because no matter what you believe, love is really the truthful, the end of, and
Sure.
the final say. That if you do things like that with love, if you treat people with love, then really you ain't gonna do no fucking wrong.
Yeah, and just and nothing. I've done that a couple of times too, man. You help somebody out. You're just like, here you go, take it.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
need it. I've already got my use out of it. What the fuck? Like, I don't need. The,
Oh, and you make somebody's day.
yeah, and it's way better because somebody who bought it's just like cool, and then they'll sell it and it'll go on and on and on.
Oh yeah.
But when it's like something like that cool, and you're just like, here, you fucking have it because I'm done with it and I don't need it, and I've already paid for it, so I don't need the money. Here. Now, sometimes you get in a bind, and you got to sell your stuff. I'm not saying moments like
Oh
that,
yeah.
but
No, I got
it's
I
great.
got my bass amp through somebody being in a bind. So
Yeah.
I will not take advantage of the fact that I can get something.
I
super
definitely
cheap.
have some light fixtures that I purchased from people in a parking lot because they were in a bind. So it's like, and Guitar Center wouldn't take them, and I just magically showed up at the right time. I got like 3 power 800-watt strobes for
Oh,
like,
yeah?
for like
From
nothing,
there?
man. Yeah, for nothing. But no, you're good, man. Let's wrap it up. Tell people where they can find your company real quick.
Dude, you find us several ways. You can find us at 717 Main Street, North Little Rock, Monday through Friday, and those normal working hour things. But you can also email us, morebrothersprint@gmail.com, or we have a website, morebrothersprint.com. Other than that, I think Facebook Messenger, all that stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
regular stuff. Yeah,
all
yeah.
those things that you can hit people up. It's phone number. We have the landline still. So
Right.
the only thing we don't do is we ain't figured out facts. I'm sorry. I don't.
Nah,
know.
you don't need it.
I've never been good enough for that.
It's archaic.
But
But
I email really well. So
well, there you go. Email him, More Bros Print & Co. And mine's Crashcast Pod. If you're on Twitter, Crashcast Pod 1. We've been using it a little bit more here lately. Man, thank you so much, dude. This has been a blast. I knew it would be. Everybody, thank you for listening.